Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Government notifies new apportion rules. Gestational limit for pregnancy termination increases to 24 weeks. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lauds Border Roads Organisation for its commitment towards country security and socio-economic development. India's COVID vaccination crosses 97 crore mark. Recovery rate reaches 98.07%. And WHO forms scientific advisory group to identify origin of COVID-19 and other future outbreaks. As India is on the verge of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the people, doctors, nurses and others who made this possible. At the same time, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners who are yet to fully get vaccinated to get vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news in detail. Government has notified new rules in which the gestational limit for termination of pregnancy has been increased from 20 to 24 weeks for certain categories of women. These categories include survivors of sexual assault or rape or incest, minors and women whose marital status changes during ongoing pregnancy. As per the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Rules 2021, the Medical Board will allow or deny termination of pregnancy beyond 20 to 24 weeks of gestation period only after due consideration and ensuring that the procedure would be safe for the woman at that gestation age and whether the fetal malformation has substantial risk of it being incompatible with life, or if the child is born, it may suffer from such physical or mental abnormalities to be seriously handicapped. The new rules have been framed under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act 2021 passed by Parliament in March this year. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today presided over the breakthrough blast of the Sela Tunnel in Arunachal Pradesh. Addressing the event through a video conference, Singh lauded the Border Roads Organisation for its commitment towards the country's security and socio-economic development. He said the organisation is true to its motto, Shramena Sarvam Satyam, that everything is achievable through hard work. The minister said the tunnel will work to strengthen the socio-economic condition of the citizens by bringing a big change in the transport facility. He said this will also strengthen the national security. The defence minister also flagged off a motorcycle expedition of the Border Roads Organisation from the National War Memorial in New Delhi. It will cover about 20,000 kilometres, passing through many states and union territories of the country. India has crossed yet another milestone in the COVID vaccination drive, with the total vaccination crossing the 97 crore mark today. Union Health Ministry has termed it as yet another achievement in its fight against COVID-19. As many as 18,987 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 98.07%, the highest since March last year. 19,808 recoveries in the last 24 hours increased the total recoveries to 3,33,62,709. Active cases account for less than 1% of the total cases and is currently at 0.61%, the lowest since March 2020. The World Health Organization has announced the establishment of a scientific advisory group to identify the origin of COVID-19 and other future outbreaks. The WHO's Scientific Advisory Group for the Origins on Novel Pathogens, or SAGO-SACO, will include 26 scientists from the US, China, and about 24 other countries to find the answer to the question of how the novel coronavirus first infected humans. The group will also be responsible for establishing a framework to combat future pandemics. Department of Biotechnology has launched the country's first One Health Consortium. This program envisages carrying out surveillance of important bacterial, viral and parasitic infections of zoonotic and transboundary pathogens in India. Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swarup, said that this consortium, consisting of 27 organizations, is one of the biggest One Health program launched by Government of India in post-COVID times. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. To commemorate the celebration of 75th year of India's independence, we present India at 75 quiz with AIR News Kohima, a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history every Thursday in the evening news bulletin. And here goes our question of the week for English news. In which year did the British announce the transfer of the seat of the government from Calcutta to Delhi? I repeat, in which year did the British announce the transfer of the seat of the government from Calcutta to Delhi? Listeners can send their responses to the question to our email airnewskohimaindia75@gmail.com and SMS or WhatsApp to 9485 239950 along with name and address. The first correct answer received from the participants will be selected as the winner and will be announced in tomorrow's morning news at 7:30 a.m. India has withdrawn COVID-19 restrictions imposed on visiting UK nationals. Health Ministry has relaxed the travel advisory that imposed additional checks and quarantine on those arriving from the UK. The move comes to reciprocate the UK government's decision to discontinue the mandatory quarantine and checks for Indian visitors vaccinated with Covishield. Earlier this month, India has said that all British nationals arriving in India from the UK will have to undergo mandatory 10-day quarantine even if they are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has said that more than 40 lakh kilograms of waste have been collected across the country through Clean India drives so far. The month-long nationwide Clean India Drive to Clean Waste was launched on 1st of this month. It is a youth-led program being organized in 6 lakh villages of 744 districts across the country through the networks of Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan. Nagaland today registered 9 new cases of COVID-19 positive, taking the tally to 31,516. While report of 17 recoveries from the infection have added the total number of recovered cases to 29,597. COVID-19 casualties remained at 658 with no deaths reported for 3 consecutive days. The state's active cases stand at 230 with sample positivity rate declining to 1.58%. Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi and Chief Minister Nipirio have expressed sadness and pain over the demise of former Minister of Nagaland, Liveshelo Mero, yesterday at Kohima. Describing Liveshelo Mero as visionary leader who under the most adverse circumstances worked untiringly and selflessly for building a peaceful and prosperous Nagaland, Governor Professor Mukhi said his contribution to the people in various assignments will be remembered forever. Chief Minister Rio said the Chagasan community in particular and the Naga society as a whole has lost a visionary leader and mentor and a father figure. Rio said the vacuum created by Mero's demise will be difficult to fill, but to celebrate the wonderful memories he has left behind. Governor Professor Mukhi and Chief Minister Nipirio have conveyed their condolences to the bereaved family. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Government notifies new abortion rules. Gestational limit for pregnancy termination increases to 24 weeks. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lauds Border Roads Organisation for its commitment towards country security and socio-economic development. India's COVID vaccination crosses 97 crore mark. Recovery rate reaches 98.07%. And WHO forms scientific advisory group to identify origin of COVID-19 and other future outbreaks. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.